O'Brien.
What's going on, everyone? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I hope you all had a phenomenal weekend. Let's take a look at what we got going on right now in the market. We got the composite off about 0.65% at 19,730. The Dow Jones Industrial off about 0.35% right now. You have the SPY off about 0.52% at 604.67. You get that dollar getting a little bit lower, right? We're at 106.15, a little bit of bounce up. We cracked real low around 105.41 last session, but we got a little bounce going on, still lower than that 108.07. Let's take a look right now. We have crude oil up about 1.58%, trading at 68.26. Now, of course, you had the Assad regime fall this weekend in Syria. I'm not sure how much that is really contributing right now to the increase, at least in the price of oil. It really seems like there is a mass amount of production going on, and nothing's going to really squeeze that supply regardless. America is just producing so much. You have the gold contract coming up about 0.84%, so getting a little bit higher off that kind of low that we had in the interim, right? Around November 13th, let's see, around 2,543, bounced off it, pulled back again on November 25th, and we're slowly creeping back up really to that level of resistance right there. So we'll see what happens with gold. You have some of the stocks running off today as well. Let's see, the GDX of about 3.65%, fantastic. You have NGD, that is New Gold Inc., that's all up about 3.37%. A lot of stuff really today open higher, kind of getting a little bit lower throughout the day. That's fine. You get so much exuberance in the market, you get people wanting to get out and take some profits. Okay volume for the day as well, pushing those kind of highs. One of the stocks that is not, I think Newmont is up today a little bit, up about 1.79%. But this is just in such a tough spot. And it's hard to, I think, kind of warrant getting into the thing. Let's see here. You have some big news with them where they're just getting rid of some hiring managers, which I think is going to be fantastic. Yeah, so they lay off nearly a dozen managers, merging businesses. They are doing a major corporate restructuring. And it kind of makes sense if you look at what the stock has been doing. You're getting so much attraction in gold and nothing has really happened for it beyond missing earnings terribly. I mean, it's just bad management right now with the stock. I think on the long term that this is positive. Obviously, the market is reacting okay to it, up about 1.81%. We're kind of getting eclipsed by some of these other mining stocks as well. Let's take a look. We got Lucid up 10% right now, 11.3%. It is battling. Whew. Let's take a look at Rivian as well. Man, look at this stuff. Up 12%, nearly up 11.19%. You had a big target increase from a large firm saying that they see Rivian at $18. Love to see kind of the reasoning behind that because I still think they have some big problems. I think going forward too, I mean, it's almost fundamental, right? And they're having issues getting profitable. That plant that they're trying to build has been stopped so many times. They did get the $6.6 billion from the Biden administration, which is great. But this new administration coming in seems to not really be that keen on giving EV makers any more money to try to make this dream work in the short term. Regardless, the news is the news. They have an $18 price target for it, and this is pushing that stock up 11.27% today. Let's take a look. I want to talk a little bit about Nebius, and I'm not sure what happened on the earnings. I think it must be because they got recently re-added back to the NASDAQ, that whatever NASDAQ has for their earning calendars is a little bit off. These guys are off 10.96% today at $32.79, rallied up to $37 over the weekend. Of course, I was talking about how they had earnings, and again, that was just an error from the NASDAQ earnings calendar. I still think this is attractive at this level in a major way, okay? If you weren't, if you didn't join us on Friday, one of the things I was talking about is that one of their major kind of competitors or people like inside the same kind of industry, these guys basically develop GPU clusters, buying from NVIDIA. CoreWeave is basically the only other group really doing that, right? And they're about double the revenue of Nebius. And they trade at 35 billion market cap. So, I mean, that's a 6 times multiple. If you take roughly half, you should be getting around 17.5 billion, right, market cap for Nebius. Additionally, their management, which I think is super important to look at when you're kind of talking about long-term investing on some of these stocks, management is amazing for Nebius, right? So right now, I think coming down today 10.95%. Of course, they had a massive rally up over the past few weeks. You're getting some kind of analyst attention on it. You're hovering really around those like upper 18s, you know, low 90s. I think the high you had right there was 24.83. And we get this massive push because Citron comes out and kind of says something similar, right? So I even like it at this level, still at 32.65. The revenue's increasing. They have $2 billion in cash, in nearly zero debt. I mean, you're talking about like nearly half of the market cap they have in cash with zero debt. I like the way that the stock is positioned. I think that people just haven't really heard about it yet, and I think once analysts really start hearing about it and looking at the financial situation of Nebius, that this really has a potential to run, you know, I mean, again, talking like if you want to be half of what CoreWeave is, and people think CoreWeave is valued properly at $35 billion, they're only making double the revenue of Nebius, then we should maybe be trading at, you know, 17.5 million market cap. So we'll see what happens. Excuse me, I'm saying million, I mean billion, but you get what I'm saying, right? So pretty good, somewhat interesting volume today, definitely coming down, right? You had a massive push up in the beginning of the morning, huge bar hovering right now around 32.74, which is just about the low of, right above the low of the day. Let's take a look. We have Oracle coming out today with earnings. What else? We have GameStop, which we're going to talk about. Planet Labs, which was a huge play by Reddit, right? And these guys are getting smoked on it. Again, I was speaking about these kind of satellite stocks, and it's very tough. One of the things I would say about Planet Labs, which is interesting, is they got a 7-figure kind of endowment, right, to essentially analyze forests from space in hopes of kind of eliminating the impacts of carbon on the environment. That is almost one of the better things that could happen for any of these kind of satellite stocks, but these things are getting really memed. So if you're looking at getting this stuff like, you know, GSAT, not GMAT, GSAT, you know, this is off 2.94% today. Again, these guys get memed. ASTS even signed a deal today, up 6.64% right now, 4.74. But you can see, you know, you get a lot of bag holders in these areas. So, you know, approach with care when you're looking at some of these satellite stocks. Folks, you stay right there. We'll be right back with Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, when we get back from the break.